Vivek noticed his class teacher at the wedding function. He ran to meet him. "Sir, do you remember me?" "I'm sorry," said the teacher. "I don't recognize you. Could you please introduce yourself?" "Well, sir," said Vivek, "you taught me in class 7. I really never forget the way that you treated me on one particular occasion. It was a time when I wanted my classmate's watch, and I decided to steal it when he went out during break. When he came back and found that the watch was missing, he complained to you. You asked all of us to close our eyes, and you checked all of our pockets. When you came to mine, you put your hand in my pocket, took out the watch, but didn't say a word. Without revealing the thief to the class, you gave the watch back. I was amazed and dumbfounded because you saved me from embarrassment and trouble. I have never forgotten you." The teacher replied, "Well, since I had my eyes closed while checking the pockets, I didn't know whose pocket I had found the watch in." Immediately, Vivek remembered this verse from the Bible. "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or empty pride, but in humility, consider others more important than yourselves. Each of you should not look only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others." "Mum and Dad are coming home for lunch tomorrow," Vehalan told his wife Vasantha, but she didn't respond. She only thought in her head, "Oh dear, not again. My in-laws are always finding fault with my cooking. I better try out something good for tomorrow." Vasantha asked her husband, "Shall I cook mutton then?" Mutton is red meat and it probably won't be good for them," said Vehalan. "Even chicken won't be good. Why don't you prepare 2 vegetable dishes, sambar and rice?" "Yes, that's enough," said Vehalan. Vasantha was taken aback. "They're coming home for lunch. Let's at least buy some fish for them." "Fish? Okay, I'll buy the smallest ones because they're rich in calcium and good for health." "Yeah, you can make some fish curry." And he hurriedly left home to the market. The next day, the in-laws came home. They ate and then they left. While waiting at the bus stop, Vehalan's mother asked him, "Son, was Vasantha not happy because we came home today? Why didn't you cook some meat for us?" And then she poured the fish curry to eat, but there was no fish in it. Such small fish was put out in front of us. While she was saying this, the bus came and they got in and went away. Vehalan could not explain anything that had transpired that day. What can you say to people who are always complaining about everything? It's better to be quiet. A perfect proverb goes like this: "The one who guards his mouth and tongue keeps himself out of trouble."
A king wanted to elect a prime minister. The 6 ministers seated there thought they were going to be given a chance to be elected. The king called the ministers and had a blank paper, and with a writing instrument he drew a black dot in the middle. He asked, "What do you see?" They all replied, "A black dot." "Don't reply in a hurry. Look carefully and tell me," said the king. They insisted they saw a black dot and nothing else. But the king's young son replied, "There's a lot of white, blank portions in this paper." The king praised him and happily made him his prime minister. We need the wisdom to identify the good in the bad situations. Yes, it's easy to collect wealth like gold and silver, but finding wise lips is difficult. The Bible clearly tells us, tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Today, shall we ask for wisdom from God?
Did you know the tongue of a tiger is so sharp and strong that it can literally lick your skin off? The tiger's tongue is covered with numerous small, sharp, rear-facing projections called papillae. These papillae gives the tongue its rough, rasping texture and is designed to help strip feathers, fur, and meat from prey. Interestingly enough, the human tongue can be just as powerful, dangerous, and untamable as that of a tiger's. Yes, our tongue holds immense power. Words can hurt and wound us in ways that last longer than even physical wounds. In today's world, by the touch of one button, you can voice your opinion about absolutely anything. You can write a blog or make a video and have thousands of people read or listen to what you have to say. The freedom to use our tongue is endless, but this does not free us from responsibility and accountability. With our words, we can build people or we can tear them down. The tongue can be bitter, it can be sweet. If there is any part of our body we should guard most, it is the tongue, for it has a huge impact on everything we do and everything we will ever become. The Bible says the words on our tongues come from the overflow of our hearts. Never shrug away slips of the tongue as simply part of being human, but let us learn to exercise self-control, guard our tongue, and say the right words. There was a farmer who grew superior quality and award-winning corns. Each year he entered his corn in the state fair and won honor and prizes for his exceptionally good corns. The farmer very soon became popular for his high-quality corn and he was praised all around the state. Once, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seed corn with his neighbors. The reporter then asked in disbelief, "Why would you share your best seed corn with your neighbors when some of them compete with you each year?" "Why wouldn't I, sir?" said the farmer. "The wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it around from field to field. If my neighbors grew inferior, substandard, and poor quality corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow a high-quality corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn too." The farmer's reply made the reporter realize how aware the old farmer was about connections in life. So it is with our lives. If one chooses to live in peace, he must help others around him to live in peace. If one chooses to be loved, he must first learn to love others. The value of life is not measured by how long one lives, but how many lives it touches. Helping others is indeed the way we help ourselves.
The lyrics to this song caught me well. I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along. Somewhere I belong. These were the lines from the popular band Linkin Park from their album back in 2003. I remember when the news stated the death of the lead singer Chester Bennington on July 20, 2017. I connected the dots and thought if he was trying to tell something through his songs. I was sad as it was too late as he had taken his life on that day. Many go through thoughts of suicide in this world. If you know someone who shares something similar, please seek help for them. Be a listening ear to them. As you know, death is not the solution for failure. Whatever the situation, whatever the cause, taking your life isn't worth it. Jesus said, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." Remember, life is worth living rather than dying.